Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and we are on Titan. So Xur has arrived, it is July 24th, and we are here to check out his inventory. Just a reminder, he is here on Friday, so it is 10 a.m. Central or Pacific time, and then he will leave on Tuesday 10 a.m. Central or Pacific time. So 10 a.m. on Friday to 10 a.m. on Tuesday, that is Xur's time. This week he is on Titan, so let's see what he's got. Alright, quick reminder, we do have the exotic engram here. Remember, if you have the shards, it's worth buying, but also if you are a brand new player, remember, this is 97 shards. If you don't have one of the ones that are down here, they are much cheaper, so buy them that way so you don't waste 97 shards on something that's right below. But it will actually help complete your collection or give you a random roll on armor if your collection is complete. So let's see what he's selling this week. Alright, for the weapon, we've got Sunshot. Now, if you don't have Sunshot for some odd reason, it's been in the game for a while, but if you're a newer player and you haven't seen this thing before, it's actually in a pretty good place. The magazine went from 8 to 12 in an update a while back, so it's actually pretty good. The catalyst will boost the range fairly far, and the main perk here is the weapon fires explosive rounds and highlights targets that take damage from Sunshot. So they explode, but it's in a big, big way. Targets killed by Sunshot explode in solar energy, and it's actually a really fun explosion to do. So, cool hand cannon. Once you complete the catalyst, it is a pretty substantial boost to range. 12 in the magazine. It's a 150 RPM hand cannon. All in all, like in PvE for killing ads and stuff like that, this thing is a blast. It's got some cool ornaments on it as well. I think I've got that one and also the Quark Star. So there's some pretty cool weapon ornaments on it as well. All in all, if you don't have Sunshot, get it. It's a pretty fun explosive hand cannon to use. I can't recommend having fun with this one enough, because when heads explode, and they really explode, this is pretty good times. For the hunters, we've got the Liar's Handshake. Now, the perk here is Cross Counter. Using your arc melee ability, or being hit by a melee attack, will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will heal you. I'm going to say that one more time. Using your arc melee ability, or being hit by a melee attack, will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful punch that will heal you. Now, if you're on a hunter, you can pair this with, I think it's Bottom Tree Arc Strider, and you can just punch the crap out of things, do lots of damage, and then you build up that 1, 2, or 3 times damage bonus, and then if you punch something, you get healed. When we had Guardian games, this is literally what I used to keep myself alive and continue to punch things with a punch that would nearly kill almost everything, at least most red bars, especially once you got the damage stacked. So overall, this is pretty good, and you're looking at a 14 strength roll and a 16 mobility roll, 10 resilience. Everything in the middle is pretty low, but if you are looking for at least to use this on melees, at least you've got 14 in the strength category, and it's not one of those rolls where it's like 2. So all in all, this is definitely an arc melee nice thing to have, and you can actually stay alive, get some like actual survivability from the heal that you get from the punch if you need that moment of like freak out punching some person and then you get that heal. All in all, pretty functional thing actually, so if you don't have this, pick it up. Now for the Titans, we have the Eternal Warrior. Now this one is probably my least favorite one to probably use. Basically, you gain an Overshield when activating Fist of Havoc. Now, if you like Fist of Havoc for, say, PvP and you're running around and trying to actually, cover more ground, this has some benefits to it. But it's only for your super, so it's a short time use. That's all it does. And it basically just makes you harder to kill while in Fist of Havoc, which in a PvP setting is a good thing. The Overshield is very specific for that. So if you can't find much else to use in PvP and you like running Fist of Havoc, this probably is your guy. But it doesn't have a whole lot of benefit for any other aspects in the game, whether it be grenades, melees, nothing. It's all just for that super, for those, 15 seconds that you've got it, and then you're back to waiting on it again. So it's very finite in use, but it has a pretty good purpose of keeping you alive longer in that super, especially in a PvP setting as you're roaming around. Overshield's not going to be a bad thing. For the stats from Xur, this is on the lower end. We've got 61, 16 on mobility, and 12 on strength. Resilience is 9, recovery is 6. I would like to see those two probably a little bit higher, especially as you're trying to survive with that Overshield. So overall, I would probably say this is an okay thing. If you don't have it, maybe just add it to your collection, toy around with it in PvP if you want to, but even the roll on it isn't exactly blowing me away right now, so if you don't quite pick this one up, not a big deal. But if you don't have it before, buy it, put it in your collection, maybe put it in the vault, or even delete it, and then you can maybe pull it later if you desperately want it. Overall, I wish it was better. For the Warlocks, this used to be amazing. Got a bit of a nerf. Actual Grandeur is the perk. Provides additional damage resistance during Nova Bomb. That overall isn't a bad thing. Now, when you cast Nova Bomb, you don't have to cast it for very long. So damage resistance while casting Nova Bomb, not that big of a deal, because it's a pretty short-lived throw the bomb out of your hands and it goes. The big thing about it is Nova Bombs kills grant super energy. Now, it used to be able to almost nearly refill the bar. They kind of stopped letting that happen when Bungie realized people were abusing this on things like the Reckoning Bridge and stuff like that. Still, you can get up to about 50% as I think where they capped it. So if you do love Nova Bomb in a PvE setting, getting back 50% of your super honestly isn't that bad. Now, if you pair this with one of the new mods from this season, where if you throw your grenade, you get 50% of your super back, that's not bad. So it really would kind of depend on perfect timing if you could put those two together, but they both kind of cap at 50%, so they're really probably not going to synergize that well, I think, unless you just had, like, magical timing. Other than that, guys, that is pretty much Skull of Dire Ahamkara. You throw a Nova Bomb, you get super energy back for the enemies that you kill. If you kill a whole bunch, you get a lot more. I think it's capped at about 50%. Stats, at least, I mean, it says 60, so it's not the highest, but, you know, you got a 2 in strength, which is a throwaway category for this anyway. You got 16 in intellect, you got 15 in recovery. Those are the two main categories for Warlock anyway, and you got those two stats sitting there. So even if the total isn't that high, those two sitting high, not a bad thing for a Warlock. So if you have a crappy Skull of Dire Ahamkara or only pull from the collections, this is at least better than, you know, your average Skull for sure. So if you don't have a good one, maybe toss this in your vault somewhere. It's not a bad thing to keep in the back. And that's basically it for Xur this week. Now, I wanted to remind you guys, we do have the Last Word podcast. We're recording an evening show tonight. It will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So tune in to twitch.tv/Ebontis. We will be recording it right there. We've got our guest Moonvald. She's one of the kind of cornerstones of the Planet Destiny site. She's the one who helps keep that thing running in a lot of different ways. So we're going to have her on the show talking about the Stasis video that we had. Lots to discuss tonight about that. And other than that, you guys know where to find me. It's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Ebontis, everywhere. So I'll be streaming potentially Ghost of Tsushima or potentially some Destiny for a while. Probably bouncing maybe between those two. And if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, please hit that sub button. We are climbing to 50K and we are not that far. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you enjoy the content, hit that sub button and the alert bell next to it. That helps keeps my videos coming to you. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like below, leave a comment to say hey. Looking forward to hitting that 50K with you guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Have a good one.